Super Stocks, you need to be in staging for your heat race. Super Stocks, you need to be in staging for your heat race. Young Gun Hornets, you're up next after the Super Stocks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you could please rise and remove your caps as we hear tonight's invocation.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for another time and another opportunity, Lord. Just keep us safe tonight, Lord, and be with the drivers, Lord, and just lead us and guide us, Lord. Forgive us where we fail you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Wee doggy, boogity, 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 let's go racing, ladies and gentlemen. I am glad to be back here at the mighty Midway. Been gone for a few weeks, but we back. We're ready to rock and roll. You're going to have your POWRi Super Stock. Heat number 1 rolling out here shortly. Here's how Heat 1's going to line up on the pole. Going to be the 05 of Dale Berry and his inside or outside. The 40B is Shane Bias. Row number 2 is going to be the 53 of Danny O'Neill. And the C4 of Mike Cole. Row 3 going to be the 16 of Logan Thompson and the 164 of Michael Muskrat. In our 4th and final row for heat number 1, going to be the 21W of Ted Welshmeyer and the G1 of Tony Anglin. $1,000 on the lines for your POWRi Super Stocks. $1,000 going to go to the winner of your Super Stock feature here a little bit later tonight. All right, race fans, here we go. The lights are down. They're going to go into turn number 4. Coming out of turn 4, green flag is going to be in the air for heat number 1. 8 laps around. Dale Berry going to lead them on out of the 1 and 2. Here comes that 40B of Shane Bias right to the back bumper. Danny O'Neill going to be sitting in that number 3 spot. Then you got Ted. I'm having a trouble speaking here. You got Ted Welchmeyer and the 16 to Logan Thompson going to battle out for that number 4 and 5 spot. As here comes Tony Anglin up into the number 6 spot as they're going to go down through 1 and 2. A lot of smoke coming off that C4 car of Mike Cole, but out front it is all the 05 Dale Berry as he's going to cross the stripe, followed in by Shane Bias, Danny O'Neill, Ted Welchmeyer, and the 16 of Logan Thompson going to round out your top 5. Uh-oh, Welchmeyer bobbled it. Here comes Thompson and Anglin around as it is still the 05 out front. Ted Welchmeyer going to get back up into that number 5 spot ahead of the G1 of Tony Anglin. That's the battle we're looking at right now on the track as they're going to go down the backstretch. Dale Berry clear, clean, and rolling green as he's out front. That 40B of Shane Bias is all over his back bumper. Danny O'Neill bobbled it coming out of 4, and that let Thompson and Welchmeyer come around up into the 3 and 4 spot. Now Michael Muskrat and Tony Anglin back here at the back part of the field going to be duking it out as the C4 of Mike Cole going to be making a hard right-hand turn to pit road as they come through 1 and 2. You got Berry and Bias out front. Here we go. New race leader, the 40B of Shane Bias, slingshots his way up into that number 1 spot on the top shelf around the 05 of Dale Berry as they're going to go down the backstretch. 2 to go as they go into 3. The 16 of Logan Thompson sits in that number 3 spot. They're going to come out of turn 4. Going to see the white flag. One more trip around for heat 1 of your POWRi Super Stock. 1,000 to win night. Now the 16 of Thompson trying to get up and around the 05 of Dale Berry. It's time to make it or break it as they go into 3 for the final time. Coming out of turn number 4 to the checkered flag. Going to be the 40B of Shane Bias. Dale Berry, Logan Thompson, your top 3. And that will wrap up heat number 1 for your POWRi Super Stocks. Coming out onto the track right now, going to be heat number 2. Starting on the poles, going to be the 56 of Mark Davis into his outside, the 68 of Dean Wiley. Row number 2 is going to be the 21C of Sean Clare and the 73 of Francisco Escamilla. Row 3, you got the 2A of Ace O'Neill and the 1J of Josh Jones. And riding shotgun to row number 4, going to be the 11 of Derek Brown. Here we go, down into turn 3. Davis, Wiley going to be on that front row. Claire and Escamilla, row number 2. Coming out of turn number 4. No start, no start, no start. All right, looks like we're going to double them back up and try this one more again. Out of turn. Nope, just kidding. Down into turn 3, third time's the charm. Green flag is in the air. Dean Wiley going to lead them on down to 1 and 2. Mark Davis, Francisco Escamilla is going to be there. Here comes the 1J of Josh Jones. As Derek Brown going to be sitting in that number 5 spot. They're going to go through 3 and 4. As lap 1 going to go to Dean Wiley. Mark Davis second, and Francisco Escamilla sits in third. But now look at this. Escamilla got to run on the top shelf, as he's going to be up and into the number 2 spot. Francisco Escamilla's got something cooking on the top side as he's to the back bumper of Dean Wiley. Mark Davis going to try to hold on to that number 3 spot, but he's got Josh Jones and Derek Brown all over his back bumper as they're going to come out of turn number 4. It is still Wiley, Escamilla, Davis, your top 3, Jones and Brown, your top 5. Ace O'Neal going to be sitting there in that number 6 spot. And Sean Clare going to round out your field. Kind of single file right now. Everybody kind of just holding their position. Oh, Sean Clare's got a flat right rear tire, but you know what? He says send it. And that's what he's doing. He's sending it. He's not letting up. He's going to stay out there and finish this race. Now Mark Davis got to run down on the bottom side of Escamilla. They're going to be door to door. Derek Brown going to be up into that number 4 spot as they go through 3 and 4. It is still Dean Wiley, Escamilla, Davis, Brown, Jones, and O'Neal. As lap traffic now in the way of your race leaders, as Dean Wiley's going to execute it quickly, and he's got the white flag. Escamilla, Davis, Brown, they're all around. Down the back stretch and into 3 for the final time. They're going to go coming out of turn number 4 to the checkered flag. The 68 of Dean Wiley, Escamilla, and Davis, your top 3. Now we got some Young Gun Hornets, ladies and gentlemen. These are young drivers, 17 and younger. 17 and younger. On the pole, going to be the 3C of Charlie O'Neal, and to his outside, the 25 of Rhett Edgar. Row number 2 is going to be the 10 of Colton Brown, and the 23 of Preston Higgins. Green flag, and we're going to be 3 wide right off the get-go. As Edgar going to come out to that race lead. Brown going to be sitting there in second. O'Neal going to hold on to third, and the 23 of Preston Higgins going to round out your field as they're going to go through 3 and 4. Oh, now Preston Higgins going to come up into that top 3. Again, folks, these are Young Gun Hornets. These drivers are kids under the age of 17. These are kids out here rocking and rolling around this track, putting on a show for you fans. Some of these drivers are only 12, 13, 14 years old. Don't even have a driver's license yet, and they're out here ripping it in the dirt. It is the 25 of Rhett Edgar, your race leader, followed in by Colton Brown. Preston Higgins going to take over that number 3 spot, and Charlie O'Neill going to round out your field. Your race leader, Rhett Edgar, going to come out of turn number 4, and he's going to see 2 more trips around. 2 to go for the 25 of Rhett Edgar. Down into 3 they're going to go. Your race leader again, that 25 of Rhett Edgar out of Camdenton, Missouri, leading the charge. Colton Brown sitting there in second out of Crane, Missouri. Preston Higgins out of Osage Beach, Missouri sits in third, and Charlie O'Neill out of Osage Beach, Missouri rounds out your field. With the white flag in the air, your race leader is going to come to the checkered flag, the 25 of Rhett Edgar. Colton Brown second. And as long as he can make it, the 23 of Preston Higgins is going to take that number 3 spot. That's going to wrap up heat number 1, ladies and gentlemen. Up next going to be heat number 2 for your Young Gun Hornets. We got 8 of them in the house tonight. The feature is going to be awesome. So on the pole, you got the 66 of Max Dublin, and to his outside, the 18K of Connor Reed. Now, Connor Reed has won the last 2 Young Gun Hornet races. So tonight, okay, so I just been told the 18K of Connor Reed is not going to run his heat race. So that is going to, since the 18K of Connor Reed is not going to run the heat race, that is going to move the 8 of Carter Parrish up to the outside of row 1. And the 18 of Tristan Higgins is going to be on that second row by himself. Here we go. Green flag out of turn number 4. Max Dublin, Carter Parrish take off on a rail. But here comes the 18 of Tristan Higgins. Oh, Max Dublin going to chop the nose. As they're going to go through 3 and 4. Parrish trying to get up and find a way around the 66 of Max Dublin as he's all over the back bumper. He's going to shoot down to the bottom side, not able to make it stick. As Max Dublin going to hold on to the lead going out of 2 down the back stretch. Carter Parrish still trying to run down that 66 of Max Dublin as they go down through 1 and 2. Tristan Higgins sitting. Oh! Carter Parrish got way up off the track. He definitely elbows up as he comes out of turn 4. He gets so close to the wall. He's definitely wearing his brown suit right now because I'm wearing my. He did it again. Oh! A little bit of light. Oh, here we go. Some right side romance and left side loving between Parrish and Higgins as they come out of turn 4. Parrish going to hold on to that number 2 spot, but Max Dublin says, you know what? Y'all have fun. I'm out of here. See you. Bye-bye. Those cars are getting awful dicey coming out of 2. White flag is in the air for the 66 of Max Dublin. As he's got one more trip around. Now Max goes way up. Oh, they're making me nervous. Way up the hill goes Max Dublin through 2. Now your race leader going to come out of turn number 4 to the checkered flag, the 66 of Max Dublin. Carter Parrish second, and Treston Higgins all 3. Here comes your POWRi B-Mod. Heat number 1 on the pole, going to be the 68 of Donnie Betts, and to his outside, the 5 of Robert White. Row number 2, going to be the 11 of Waylon Dimmitt, and the 20 D of Dawson David. Row 3, you got the 29 of Bronson Wicker, and the 65 of Chris Jackson. Row 4, you got the 42 J of Donnie Jackson, and the 2 of Eric Graves. Hey, where's your umbrella at? Oh, it's over there. Green flag is going to be in the air as we're going to hustle on down in a 1 and 2. Robert White going to jump out to that early race lead. Here comes Chris Jackson. 3 deep, time to sell it cheap. Coming out of 2 down the back stretch between Dimmitt, David, and Jackson. Now Jackson's going to get the daily double. Going to chalk 2 of them off as he's up into that number 3 spot. Robert White trying to get away as fast as possible early on. Oh, Eric Graves up the hill, saves it. As Chris Jackson now up into that number 2 spot, trying to run down the 5 of Robert White. Top 6 cars throw a blanket on them as it is Robert White, Chris Jackson, Waylon Dimmitt, your top 3, Donnie Betts, David Dawson. Dawson David, I said it backwards. And then the 29 of Bronson Wicker. Now Dawson David and Donnie Betts duking it out for 4th and 5th. Betts goes way up the hill. That's going to let Dawson David around into the number 4 spot. It is still Robert White, your race leader, as they come out of 4, going to cross the stripe. Chris Jackson still trying to run him down. Kind of single filed out right now. The 20D of Dawson David all over the back bumper of Waylon Dimmitt. Jackson going to move up a little bit higher on the track, going to try to see if, oh, look out, Eric Graves goes around in 3 and 4, right in the middle, and he's going to park it, and that is a yellow flag. Yellow is out, yellow is out. Oh, look out. Our first caution of the night, ladies and gentlemen. Very first caution of the night. Better hurry up and get that umbrella. The race is about to start. All right, here we go down the back stretch. Delaware double file restart. Lights are down. Keep the flag man going to do the jig. Green flag is going to be up and out and in the air. They're going to motor off down in a 1 and 2. Robert White, your race leader. Chris Jackson, Waylon Dimmitt, your top 3. Dawson David going to be sitting in 4th. Donnie Betts 5th. Betts all over the back bumper there of Dawson David as they come through 3 and 4. It is still Robert White. Jackson going to go to the top shelf, going to diamond it off, going to come out the bottom side of turn 2. He's got to run down the back stretch. You got a new race leader going into turn 3. Can he hold on as they're going to go through 3 and 4? Bang, got him. New race leader with 1 to go. The 65 of Chris Jackson is no stranger to the mighty Midway. He knows this track like the back of his eyelids, as he's going to go down the back stretch for the final time. Down into turn 3, coming out of turn number 4, the checkered flag for the 65 of Chris Jackson. Robert White 2nd, and Waylon Dimmitt your top 3. And that's going to be the end of heat number 1. Up next going to be heat number 2 for your POWRi B-Mods. On the pole is going to be the 5C of Brian Cook and his outside. The 49 of Mason Rodden. Row number 2 going to be the 14C of Cody Crabtree and the 55 of Colson Kirk. Row 3, you got the 16M of Brian Myers and the 15 of Jeremy Hazel. But I think the 15 is actually the 77. And then you got the 4, the 55G of Luke Gideon. And that 4th and final row. Yes, so my race pass has Jeremy Hazel as the 15, but he is actually the 77 on the card. So don't get confused, those of you watching at home on Show Me Dirt. Hey, you better put the umbrella up. I'm gonna go steal her umbrella. Here we go, coming out of turn 4. Green flag is in the air for our second and final heat. 3 wide right off the start down into turn 1. They're going to go. Oh, Colson Kirk going to get the daily double. As he's going to get the 2-for-1 special from 4th to 2nd just like that. Brian Cook on the pole, going to take the top shelf around, but here comes that 55 of Colson Kirk. Colson Kirk going to go down on the bottom side. Down into 3, they're going to go. Out of turn 4, it is Colson Kirk, your race leader. Brian Cook, Cody Crabtree, your top 3. Followed in by Mason Rodden, Brian Myers, Luke Gideon, and Jeremy Hazel. Oh, look at that, Brian Myers. Mason Rodden got a little bit of right side romance and left side loving going on down the backstretch. As Colson Kirk retains the lead, it is Cody Crabtree now up into that number 2 spot. Brian Cook going to shuffle on back into the number 3 spot. Luke Gideon up to 4th. As Myers and Rodden got into it last lap, and that allowed Gideon to get around. They're going to go through 3 and 4 single file. Now Jeremy Hazel gets around Rodden. Is Mason Rodden trying to get that top side of the Speedway in? Nothing there just yet. It is still the 55 of Colson Kirk out front. Cody Crabtree 2nd. Brian Cook 3rd. Then you got Luke Gideon and Brian Myers, your top 5, followed in by Jeremy Hazel and Mason Rodden. 2 laps to go for the 55. Can he hold on? Down through 3 and 4. Doctor's jacket in the air. 1 more trip around. Look out. Brian Cook bobbled it. Luke Gideon now up into the number 3 spot. Now, oh, Brian Cook's off the power. Brian Cook off the power. Everybody's going to come around. As the checkered flag waves for the 55 of Colson Kirk, Cody Crabtree, Luke Gideon, your top 3. And Brian Cook is at a standstill back there on the back stretch. So the Midway Speedway safety crew going to go over there and give Brian Cook a hand. Hopefully he can get that hot rod fixed and get back out here for the feature a little bit later tonight after the kids' candy scramble at intermission. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you the starting lineup for our second and final, or our first heat of POWRi Pure Stocks. On the poles, the 5 of Justin McDowell. And to his outside, the 17 of Andrew Roark. Oh, Andrew Roark. I thought that was Logan earlier. So it's Andrew Roark. Row number 2 is going to be the 14 of Derek Davis and the 19 of Trenton Houston. Row 3, you got the N42 of Chad Nivens and the 42 of Trevor Ellingson. And your 4th and final row all by himself, Mark Big Daddy Simon. Green flag is in the air as we're going to hustle down into 1 and 2. The 17 of Andrew Roark. Uh-oh, Mark Simon has come to a stop at the bottom of 1 and 2. Yellow is out. Yellow is out. So the first caution of this heat race coming out for the 23 of Mark Simon. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Lights are down. They will be green flag when we come out of turn number 4. McDowell, Roark on that front road. Davis and Houston, row number 2. Nivens and Ellingson, row number 3. And Simon back there at the back part of the field. Into 3. Green cones when you go. Green flag is in the air. Oh, Trevor Ellingson up hard into the wall at the top of 1 and 2. Yellow is out. Yellow is out. And Mark Simon goes around in 3 and 4, but the yellow was already out. The 42 of Trevor Ellingson hard into the wall. You're about to lose a tire. I think that right front wheel's a little kabunkered. I know, I just made that word up. It'll be all right. Here we go, out of turn number 4. The lights are down. Green flag is out. Down into turn 3, Mark Simon goes around. And he's going to keep it rolling. It is the 17 of Andrew Roark, was your race leader. Now Justin McDowell coming. Oh, Houston gets in the back of Roark. Derek Davis going to make it 3 wide. Pure pandemonium at its finest. As Derek Davis slingshots up to battle it out for that number 1 spot. It is Derek Davis and Justin McDowell battling it out for the race lead. Andrew Roark going to be sitting in that number 3 spot. Chad Nivens going to be sitting in 4th. Mark Simon back here in 5th. Out of turn number 4, it is still Derek Davis by a bumper. Justin McDowell out front. Down the back stretch and into 3 they're going to go. They're going to see the white flag coming out of turn number 4. Derek Davis, Carling. Can he hold on? Justin McDowell, it's time to make it or break it right here as they're going to go down the back stretch. Drag race. The drive is on to the bottom of turn 3. Andrew Roark's there. He's going to try to make something happen. Checkered flag for the 14 to Derek Davis. Justin McDowell, Andrew Roark, your top three. Heat number 2, ladies and gentlemen, about to roll out. Going to be the 13 of Greg Dykstra on the pole, and to his outside, the 0 of James Reedus. Row number 2 is going to be the 26 of Preston McDowell, and the 21 of Peyton McDowell. Row number 3 is going to be the 68 of Rhonda Lamkey, and the 32 of Richard Adams. A turn 4, green flag is in the air. As they're going to go down to 1 and 2. James Reedus, Peyton McDowell, Richard Adams, 3 wide for that number 1 spot. Oh, Richard Adams goes around. Reedus almost loops it. And that's a yellow. Yellow flag. Yellow is out. Yellow is out. Yellow is out. All right, we're going to do a single file restart. 1 lap down, 7 to go. Peyton McDowell going to be out front. Rhonda Lamkey, James Reedus, and Richard Adams round out the field. Flag is out and in the air. Peyton McDowell going to try to run away as he's going to try to get as much separation. Reedus up into the top. He's going to bring it back down. Richard Adams going to scoot on by into second. They're going to go down through 3 and 4. It is Peyton McDowell, your race leader. Richard Adams, James Reedus, and then Lamkey. James Reedus, that man is no stranger to the high side. He likes to dance with the devil up there. He's going to try to make it happen tonight. Peyton McDowell going to be out front in the wagon. It's still Peyton McDowell out front. Richard Adams in that second spot. James Reedus third as Rhonda Lamkey rounds out the field in the number 4 spot. A lot of separation between the cars. Down through 3 and 4, they're going to go. They're going to come out of turn number 4. You're going to see 2 more to go for the 21 of Peyton McDowell. Can the 32 of Richard Adams run him down? Or will McDowell hold on and steal the win? White flag waves for the white car. The 21 of Peyton McDowell going to get the white flag. Richard Adams second, James Reedus third, and Rhonda Lamke sits in that 4th spot. Into 3 out of 4 for the final time. Checkered flag for the 21 of Peyton McDowell. Richard Adams, James Reedus, your top 3. That's going to wrap up your pure stock. So are you guys having fun so far? Okay, I need to hear noise. I can't hear your heads rattle. Are you guys having fun so far? Still can't hear you. Still can't hear you. Here we go. POWRi Hornets. 1 heat. On the pole is going to be the 93 of Down and Dirty, Daniel Barton. And on his outside, the 2 of Justin Day. Row number 2 is going to be the 3M of Bobby Mooney, into his outside, the 11 of Martin Jennings. Row 3, you got the 18K of Connor Reed and the 2M of Corbin Mooney. And then row number 4 is going to be the 18 of Max Dunn and the 25 of Rhett Edgar. Okay, so the 18 of Max Dunn unable to start the heat race. Where you going? Races ain't over yet. All right, here we go. Down into turn number 3. As they go through 3, Day Barton leads them out of turn 4. Green flag is in the air. Daniel Barton going to lead him on down on a 1 and 2. Justin Day's going to be right there, going to cross him over. Day's got to run out of 2 down the back stretch. Daniel Barton going to sit in that number 2 spot. Here comes the 18K of Connor Reed. Oh, here comes Max Dunn. Max Dunn onto the Speedway. It is Justin Day, your race leader. Daniel Barton, Bobby Mooney, that's your top 3. Connor Reed sits in 4th. Corbin Mooney 5th. Oh, Connor Reed got into Mooney. But they're clean and clear. We're going to stay rolling. As Justin Day starting to walk away with this one. Daniel Barton holds on to 2nd. Bobby Mooney sits in that number 3 spot. As Bobby Mooney is all over the back bumper there of Daniel Barton. Connor Reed comes in. Oh, almost touches Mooney. Mooney slides up in front of Barton. You got a new number 2. Now Connor Reed trying to get around the 93 of Daniel Barton. As Reed's going to have the 3rd position as they go down the back stretch. Now Reed goes in there again. Almost makes contact with Mooney again. Down in a 1 and 2 they go. Justin Day, he's gone. See you, bye-bye. Right now I'm looking at Bobby Mooney and Connor Reed battling for 2nd and 3rd. Now Corbin Mooney coming up in there as he's going to poke his nose in, try to crack the top 3. Connor Reed still trying to get around the 3M of Bobby as Justin Day's getting the white flag. One more trip around. Coming out of turn number 4, Connor Reed up into that number 2 spot. The young gun driver, now the father-son team's going to duke it out. Oh, watch Bobby Mooney try to put a move on Reed as they're going to go down into 3 and 4. Coming out of turn 4, checkered flag for Justin Day. Connor Reed 2nd, Bobby Mooney 3rd. Here we go. Midwest Modifieds on the pole is going to be the 23 of Mark Simon, into his outside the 51 of Sean Henson. Row 2 is going to be the 65 junior of Carter Jackson and the 0 of Dakota Gerard. Row 3 is going to be the 83 of Ben Newell and the 17 of Garrett Parker. Row 4, the 27 of Terry Williams and the 16A of Shannon Geller. And riding shotgun in row number 5, the 75 of Colby Lathrop. Down the back stretch we go into 3. Simon on the pole. Green flag is in the air. Mark Simon out front. Here comes Dakota Gerard up into the number 2 spot. As the 51 of Sean Henson sits there in 3rd. Ben Newell round up the 4th. Garrett Parker rounds out your top 5. At turn 4, it is still Mark Simon, Dakota Gerard, Ben Newell, Sean Henson, and Garrett Parker, your top 5, followed in by Terry Williams, Carter Jackson, Colby Lathrop, and Shannon Geller. Here we go. Yellow flag. Yellow is out for the 75 of Lathorpe. Here we go, coming out of turn number 4. Green flag is back in the air. Mark Simon leads him on down to 1 and 2. Ben Newell coming on the top shelf. Sean Henson down on the bottom side. Dakota Gerard bobbled it, and he let a couple cars squeak by. As Mark Simon, your racer, Garrett Parker goes around. And 3 and 4 hits the green cone, stays rolling. Ben Newell battling it out with Sean Henson there for the number 2 spot. While Mark Simon's trying to get away from everybody. Ben Newell going to get that number 2 spot. Oh, Simon might have bobbled it a little bit through 1 and 2. Right now, the battle on the track between the 51 of Sean Henson and the 83 of Ben Newell. Out of Carter, Terry Williams sits in that number 4 spot. Shannon Geller up the 5th as Dakota Gerard is shoving back into the number 6 spot. All Mark Big Daddy Simon out front as he's going to cross the stripe. Going to see 2 more trips around. Parker loops it around in turn 2. Yellow is out. Yellow is out. So the 17 of Garrett Parker looped it around there in turn 2. as he may have trouble. Oh, wait a minute. Nope. So it is Mark Big Daddy Simon, your race leader. Ben Newell sits in second. Sean Henson third. Terry Williams fourth. And Shannon Geller rounds out your top 5. Then you got Dakota Gerard, Carter Jackson, and Colby Lathrop. All right, lights are down. They're going to be green flag when we come out of turn number 4. Down into 3, fill the work on into 4, out of 4, green flag is in the air. Mark Simon leads him on down to 1 and 2 with 2 to go. Ben Newell sits in second. Sean Henson way up the track. Geller and Williams going to come up. Geller's all drifting around the track here. 1 lap to go for Mark Simon. Ben Newell second. Terry Williams third. Henson fourth. Gerard fifth. As they're going to go down the back stretch. Now to turn 4, checkered flag for the 23 of Mark Simon. Ben Newell and Terry Williams, your top 3. That's going to wrap up heat number 1. Up next, going to be our second and final heat for your Midwest Modifieds. On the pole, going to be the 7 of William Garner into his outside, the 8K of Tyler Knunston. Row number 2, going to be the 17R of Logan Ruark and the 7C of Derek Cook. Row number 3 is going to be the 28D of Dylan Dampier and the 34C of Jake Carter. Row number 4 going to be the 15R of Oakley Ragland and the 44R of Randall Cushing. Here we go, down into 3, final heat race of the evening. Green flag is in the air as William Garner leads them on down to the 1 and 2. Logan Ruark going to be right there in the 17. Tyler Knunston sits in 3rd, Derek Cook 4th, and Jake Carter, the wheelman, 5th. Logan Ruark going to battle it out and challenge William Garner for the race lead as they come out of turn 4. Got him, new race leader, the 17R of Logan Ruark. Logan Ruark, your race leader. William Garner second. Tyler Knunston sits in 3rd, but now Knunston trying to get up and around that 7, or should I say down and around, as they're all on the bottom side catfishing. Oakley Ragland sitting in that number 4 spot. Jake Carter 5th. Derek Cook 6th. Top 3 pulling away from the field. As your middle 3 are right there in the middle of the field. Logan Ruark, your race leader. William Garner holds on to that number 2 spot. They're going to cross the stripe. You're going to see 2 more trips around for the 17R Logan rear arc. Tyler Knutston now up into the number 2 spot. William Garner shuffles back to 3rd. Oakley Ragland holds on to 4th. Jake Carter 5th. Out of turn 4, white flag, 1 to go. Uh-oh, Jake Carter goes around coming out of turn number 4. Here comes the checkered flag for the 17R Logan rear arc. Tyler Knutston and William Garner, your top 3. Hey, how many kids I got here that are under the age of 11 or 11? If you're 11 or down to 3, between 3 and 11, come here. Sit, you. Look, I've never hit an old man before, but there's a first time for everything. Hey, where's your umbrella? So if you're a child between the ages of 3 and 11, come here. Children between the ages of 3 and 11, hurry, hurry, hurry. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go stand right down here in the middle of the track, all of us. So be careful. That's quite a jump. Here, give me your hand. Any more children between the ages of 3 and 11? How old are you? Come on. You scared? Did you just say you're too cool for candy?
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did.
I said I didn't want to do it.
You don't like candy?
No. Actually, that's a lie.
All right then. All right then. You coming, bud? Well, come on. Anybody else 3 to 11 besides this one that don't want to participate? Don't worry, I ain't gonna make fun of you all night, just for the next couple hours. That's fine. Come on down. Okay. Everybody pay attention. Here's what we're going to do. The candy is on the way. Right there, actually. So I need all the kids. You see where the orange side-by-side is? I need all the kids to go stand down there in the track, even with that side-by-side. I need all the kids down there, even with the side-by-side. Okay, now, if you are 8 years old, 9, 10, or 11, I need you up here by this four-wheeler. I need all of you lined up here. 8, 9, 10, and 11-year-olds up here. 8, 9, 10, and 11-year-olds, right. I don't know why y'all looking that way. Candy's going to be that way. How old are you? You're over here. All my younger kids right here. And I need you to look in this direction. Okay, so you big kids, this is how this is going to work. Are you big kids listening? We're going to let the little ones go first. They're going to get a head start. And then what we're going to do is we're going to wait till they get almost to the candy to send y'all. Because y'all fast and a bunch of little heathens. It's okay. It's a good thing because I'm a big heathen, so it's all good. So we're going to spread out the candy. Little ones, did you hear what I said? You all are going to go first, but you got to wait. And then we're going to send the big ones, okay? Yeah, I'm going to move that out of the track. So we're doing the little kids, then the older kids?
Yes.
Okay, change of plans. Change of plans. Big kids, y'all are going to have your own 2 bags of candy. So we're going to send the little ones first. All that candy down there is for the little ones. Then we'll drop 2 more bags, and all you big kids are going to have at it. All right? So everybody in attendance, I need your help. We're going to count down from 3. Little ones, when we say go, run down there and get as much candy as you can, okay? Little ones. Race fans, are you ready to give me a hand? All right, here we go. 3. Go, 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 grab it. Get some, get as much candy as you can. Come on, get over there. Look, hey, 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 go right up there. Go up there. Grab the candy. Are you guys on a team? That's cheating. I didn't know there was teams in a candy scramble. But then again, that's kind of smart because you could get double the candy. And then when one kid gets sick from eating too much, you get the rest. Okay. I need you. Where's you were with your dad, right? Where's he at? You don't know? Hey, is he in the pits? Okay. I'm going to come on down, sir. I'm going to keep her with me for just a little bit. So, sweetheart, if I could have you stand right over here with Super Shane. All right, big kids. We're going to get these other bags of candy put on the ground, but we're going to make this one a little more interesting. If I outrun any of y'all to the candy, I get all the candy. Yeah. Yeah. So you guys ready? Are you racing too, Ronnie? Yeah, he's going to make sure I don't get down there. All right. Is the candy spread? Race fans, count them down. Is the candy gone already? Wow. I didn't even run. Y'all took off and I just stood there. That was crazy. Now, I need you to come with me. All right, if everybody's got your candy, you can go back to your parents wherever they're at. You're going to hang with me for just a quick second. All right, race fans. Hey, we got one more thing we got to do. I'm doing a Junior Race Fan of the Week plaque here at the Mighty Midway. What's your name, bud?
Brantley. It's what? Brantley.
Brantley? I got Brantley here. You're going to be my boy Junior Race Fan of the Week. So you want to take that home? That's all you, buddy. Give Brantley a round of applause. Come here, sweetheart. What is your name?
Denver.
Denver come prepared, okay? She put her backpack on backwards and unzipped it to shove candy in. So, Denver, you're going to be my girl Junior Race Fan of the Week. How's that sound? How about a round of applause for Denver? You're welcome. Hey, you're welcome, brother. Race fans, so we're going to take a little intermission break. All the kids got all the candy, so they're going to be hyped up and hopper. Oh, man. Anybody got a ladder? I'm too old. I'm getting too old for that. Okay, so we're going to take an intermission. Good night almighty. Look at the line at the concession. Y'all should have come down sooner. Oh, they're going to the back. They got to go take a tinkle. They got to take a tinkle. Now, I got to pick on some people that are right here. Do you have two left hands?
No, I do not.
Then how come at the beginning of the night when I said lean to the left, then lean to the right, and you just went further left?
Good question.
She walking around like this. I got two left hands. What's your name?
Kinley,
Where are you from?
Lebanon.
Is this your first time here?
No.
Okay, how many times do you come here?
I don't know.
That's not an excuse. Your answer should be every Friday night. I have to. I work here, so. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. They frighten me. So we're going to take intermission. Check out the concession stand. If you got to go tinkle, now's the time to do it. And we'll be back shortly with feature racing. Super Stocks, get to staging for your feature. Super Stocks to staging for your feature. Here we go, race fans. 1,000 to win for your POWRi Super Stocks. 20 laps the distance. On the pole, going to be the 40B of Shane Bias, and to his outside, the 68 of Dean Wiley. Row number 2 is going to be the 73 of Francisco Escamilla in the 05 of Dale Berry. Row 3, you got the 16 of Logan Thompson and the 21W of Ted Welshmeyer. Row number 4 is going to be the 11 of Derek Brown and the 56 of Mark Davis. Row 5, you got the G1 of Tony Angwin and the 1J of Josh Jones. Row number 6 is going to be the 2A of Ace O'Neill and the 164 of Michael Muskrat. Row 7 going to be 53 of Danny O'Neill and the 21C of Sean Clare. And row number 8, all by his lonesome, the C4 of Mike Cole. Laps the distance, $1,000 on the line. Lights are down. We're going to be green flag. This is going to be a rip-roaring good time, a barn burner of a good show. As we're going to go down the backstretch, Keith the flag man's going to do the jig. Look at him go. Wiggity, 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 wiggity. Here we go. Super Stocks. Green flag is in the air. The 68 of Dean Wiley going to lead him on down to the 1 and 2. Dale Berry going to be sitting in the number 2 spot, but here comes the 73 of Francisco Escamilla as he's going to be down to the bottom side trying to get up into the number 2 spot. Everybody going to be rushing towards the front for that $1,000 payday. Uh-oh, the 21 Siege. Claire almost goes around, but he's going to stay clean and green. As we're going to go down the back stretch and into 3, your race leader coming out of turn number 4, 2 laps down. And it is all Dean Wiley in the 68. Dale Berry, Francisco Escamilla battling out for 2nd and 3rd. Uh-oh, the 16 of Thompson goes around 1 and 2. Yellow is out, yellow is out. So the yellow coming out for the 16 of Logan Thompson. So we are going to stack them up single file for right now till we make sure they're in the correct starting spots. The 16 of Logan Thompson is going to have to go to the hot chute area over there at the top of turn 3. They think he may have some sheet metal rubbing on a left rear tire, so they're going to check it out real quick, and if it is, they're going to pull it away. Oh, looks like he did have a little bit of rub. So our safety crew is going to help him out. So it appears they do got the sheet metal pulled off and away from the left rear of Logan Thompson. Now we're going to stack them up, Delaware double file restart. Here's how it works. The man in the lead is out front by himself. The man in second picks top side or bottom side. Man in third gets the opposite, then everybody files in, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom, top. From there on back to the rest of the field. Lights are down, ladies and gentlemen. Next time by, we're going to be green flag racing. Dean Wiley sits out front. Francisco, or no way, Dale Berry second, Francisco Escamilla third, Welchmeyer, and then Shane Bias. Green flag is going to be in the air. Oh, a little bit of, Mark Davis gets a little bit of help down into the infield. Look out, Mama. Mama Melanie with Remember When Photography was in the danger zone down there. And Davis going to park it. Yellow is out, yellow is out. I'll be honest, from my angle, it looked like he might have had a little bit of help, but well, we didn't get a lap completed. We're going to go single file restart and see if we can get some laps checked off. Green flag is in the air. Dean Wiley going to lead him on down on 1 and 2. Dale Berry second. Francisco Escamilla third. Oh, look here. Ted Welchmeyer coming up into that number 3 spot. Josh Jones going to be sitting there in 5th. As Shane Bias kind of starting to shuffle back, Derek Brown going to be up here as well. But right now it is all the 68 show. As we go down through 1 and 2, it is Wiley, Berry, Welchmeyer, Escamilla, Jones, Brown, Bias, Anglin, Muskrat, O'Neill, Thompson, Davis, and then you got the 21C of Sean Clare. Ted Welchmeyer and Francisco Escamilla battling it out good for that number 3 spot. As Dale Berry trying to hold on. He's got Escamilla all over the back bumper. Dean Wiley's got himself a pretty good lead right now. He's on cruise control. He's just got to hit his marks and be patient and steady as he's going to cross the stripe out front. Almost a full straightaway lead. Uh-oh! Berry and Escamilla get together, but they're going to save it. We're going to stay clean and green. As Welchmeyer now up into 3rd, but you can't count out that 73 machine. He was running 2nd. Now he's got to battle back. Lap traffic now about to become an issue for your race leader as they go down into 3. Ooh, Ted Welchmeyer, Dale Berry, their door-to-door silhouette. And now here comes Derek Brown, going to be 3 wide for 2nd. Oh, no, Welchmeyer goes around into Escamilla. Yellow is out, yellow is out, yellow is out. Ted Welchmeyer just made a hard right-hand turn. And when he did, he went right into Francisco Escamilla, who had nowhere to go. And they come to a stop at the top of turn 3. So the yellow is out. So right now it is Dean Wiley, your race leader. Dale Berry 2nd. Derek Brown up to 3rd. Josh Jones and Tony Anglin, your top 5. So the 73 of Francisco Escamilla is going to need some help from the Midway Speedway tow truck, as that left front on his car is mangled. Round of applause for Francisco Escamilla. Oh. So as we get Francisco Escamilla, his car back to the pits, we're going to get these drivers in the correct position so we can restart this race and get back to green flag racing. Round of applause for Francisco Escamilla, who is not in his car. Never mind. Give it up for Francisco's car. That thing was on a rail tonight. And he was driving it like he stole it. It was so good to see Francisco back out on the track. I miss watching him race. Delaware double file restart as we get them stacked back up. Dean Wiley going to be out front. Can he hold on? Or will the 11 of Derek Brown, who started 7th and is now in 2nd? Down the back stretch, we're going to go at a very fast pace. Into 3, coming out of turn 4. These drivers are hungry for $1,000. Josh Jones up in there, Michael Muskrat, Tony Anglin, Shane Bias. Here comes Josh Jones down to the bottom side of Derek Brown. Dean Wiley's going to hold on to the race lead as, Brown holds on by a front end. Yellow is out for the 21C of Sean Clare. Sean Clare loops it around in the middle of 1 and 2. All right, Delaware double file restart. Dean Wiley still out front. Derek Brown. Josh Jones going to be row number 2. Dale Berry, Tony Anglin, row 3. That's your top 5. Shane Bias, Michael Muskrat, that is 6 and 7. Oh, these boys are hungry. a very, very steady pace down the backstretch. These guys are hungry for that 1,000 to win. Out of turn 4, green flag is in the air. Derek Brown right to the back bumper of Dean Wiley. You got a new race leader out of 2 and down the backstretch. 4 wide back here in the mid-pack. As it is now, Derek Brown out front. Dean Wiley, Josh Jones, Tony Anglin, Dale Berry. Oh, Welchmeyer sitting in 6th now. Ted Welchmeyer trying to get back up into the top 5. He's going to do it coming out of 2 down the backstretch. Uh-oh, Mark Davis saves it. As Derek Brown's going to cross the stripe, your race leader, Dean Wiley, sits in 2nd. Oh, we got debris on the speedway. Yellow is out, yellow is out. Down here at the top of turn 4, our green start cone was trying to enter the race because it's out here on the track. $11 down, 9 to go. We are in single digits. Derek Brown out front trying to get that $1,000 payday. Dean Wiley 2nd, Josh Jones 3rd, Tony Anglin, Ted Welchmeyer top 5, Dale Berry, Michael Muskrat, Shane Bias, Danny O'Neill, Ace O'Neill, Logan Thompson, Mark Davis, and Sean Clare rounds out your field. Yellow is still out as we're getting the debris and our safety cones fixed. Somebody took out the green start cone down there at the bottom of turn 3 and 4, and it was sitting up at the top of turn 4. It did one of those left like leopard pants down there. When I said go to the right, she just went further left. Here we go. Time to go elbows up, knuckle deep. 9 laps remaining as it is going to be a 9-lap shootout for a $1,000 payday. We started the race with 15 cars. 13 cars remain. Out of 4, green flag back in the air. Well, motor off down on a 1 and 2. Derek Brown going to be out front. Dean Wiley holds on a 2nd. Here comes the G1 of Tony Anglin as he's going to be up into that number 3 spot in front of Josh Jones. Ted Welchmeyer went tailback from an incident earlier, and he is 4th, ladies and gentlemen. Ted Welchmeyer on a rail trying to run down that race lead, trying to get back up there and battle for the money. As they're going to go down into 3 and 4. Derek Brown leads them out of 4 in that 11 car. Yellow, yellow, yellow for the 21C of Sean Clare. So the 21C of Sean Clare brings out the caution as he loops it around down there at the bottom of turn 2. And then, whoa, we got what is happening over here in 3. I see Logan Thompson, Dale Berry, and Shane Bias, and we got a parking lot. You can't park there. So I don't know. I don't know what happened because the yellow was originally brought out down here in turn 2, and I look to my left and I see a parking lot in 3 and 4, So I don't know what happened. '05 Adele Berry just went pit side. Not sure why, but he did go pit side. Sean, you're going the wrong. Never mind. I was about to tell Sean he going the wrong way, but then he read my mind and he flipped it around. So Dean Wiley going to go down to the bottom side of this Delaware double file restart. That's going to put the G1 of Tony Anglin to the top side. Derek Brown going to be out front by himself because he's the race leader. Josh Jones fourth. Ted Welchmeyer sits in that number 5 spot. All right, race fans, lights are down. We're going to be green flag when they come out of turn number 4. Your top 5, throw a blanket on them because it is anybody's race as they go into 3. Coming out of turn number 4, green flag is in the air. Down into 1 and 2, they're going to rock and roll. Derek Brown out front, Dean Wiley, Tony Anglin second and third. Ted Welchmeyer sits in that number 4 spot. Josh Jones 5th. As your top 3 start to pull away from the rest of the field, it is still Derek Brown, Tony Anglin in second, Dean Wiley third now. As Anglin trying to get the top side working, trying to get it to come to him, but he's got a lot of real estate left to run down. Uh-oh, the 05 Adele Berry loops it around in 1 and 2. Yellow is back out. Yellow is back out. Delaware double file restart. Laps are ticking down. Who's going to take home? So we're trying to get the cars stacked up in the correct starting positions. Right now, the 53 of Danny O'Neill is supposed to be on the outside of Ted Welchmeyer in the 21W. And the 1J of Josh Jones is supposed to be right behind the 21W of Ted Welchmeyer. All right, we got them stacked up finally. We're going to give it a go down the back stretch as the lights are off. Ladies and gentlemen, $1,000 on the line. Can the 11 of Derek Brown hold on as the green flag is back out in the air? Tony Anglin down on the bottom side now. He's been working the top shelf, but he elected to go down on the bottom. Uh-oh. Thompson and Davis together in turn one. Thompson and Davis together in turn one. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Team down, 5 to go, ladies and gentlemen. Single file restart. Can we get the final 5? 6. Final 6 laps completed. So we got 14 down, 6 to go. I thought we had 15 down, 5 to go. I was wrong. My numbers, my math ain't mathing. Down the back stretch, into 3, led in by the 11 of Derek Brown. Tony Anglin second, Dean Wiley third. Green flag is back in the air. Tony Anglin going to go right to the top shelf, going to try to run down that 11. Now we're going to cross the stripe with 15 down, 5 to go. Derek Brown starting to pull away from the rest of the field, but you can't count out that G1 of Tony Anglin because that man is a driver. He's a wheelman, and he's going to try to run down that 11 of Derek Brown. Oh, Danny O'Neill up on the top, putting the rooster tails at it. Looky, 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 Anglin to the back of Brown. On the attack, on the hunt, and on the prowl goes the G1 to Tony Anglin as they're going to drive down to the bottom side of turn 3. Laps starting to tick down here as we're going to cross the stripe. You're going to see 2 more trips around for the 11 of Derek Brown. Dean Wiley holds on to 3rd, Ted Welchmeyer 4th, and Josh Jones sits in that number 5 spot, but he's got the 164 of our current points leader, Michael Muskrat, to his outside. As the 11 of Derek Brown, your race leader, comes out of turn 4. Yellow is out, yellow is out, yellow is out. Yellow comes out for the 40B as Shane Bias. We go, lights off. Single file restart again as they go down into 3. Out of turn number 4, green flag is in the air. Down at 1 and 2, they're going to go. It is still Derek Brown. Tony Anglin, Dean Wiley, your top 3. Out of turn number 4, going to see the white flag. One more trip around for the 11 of Derek Brown. Into 3 for the final time. Coming out of turn number 4, checkered flag for the 11 of Derek Brown. Tony Anglin 3rd. And Dean Wiley, or Tony Anglin 2nd, Dean Wiley 3rd. All right, race fans down there in victory lane. $1,000 richer for your POWRi Super Stocks. Equipment coming off. Gonna have to make some noise, get loud, off your seat, on your feet as he climbs out. Ladies and gentlemen, the 11 of Derek Brown. All right, so Derek Brown down there collecting that $1,000 payday. No, I'm not talking about the candy bar. Calm down. Hey, Leopard, you'd be a pretty good racer. You know that? Because all you do is go left.
Yeah, started 9th, finished 2nd, that's 7 spots.
So as Derek Brown pulls off the speedway and his crew heads back to the trailer, I'm going to read the starting lineup for our next feature on the docket. Going to be your Young Gun Hornets. You guys got to make noise for these folks, for these young kids, these young guns. On the pole, the 25 of Rhett Edgar, and his outside the 66 of Max Dublin. Row number 2 going to be the 10 of Colton Brown and the 8 of Carter Parrish. Row 3 going to be the 3C of Charlie O'Neill and the 18K of Connor Reed. And row 4 going to be the 23 of Preston Higgins and the 18 of Treston Higgins. All right, race fans, lights are down. Hey, listen, when they come out of turn number 4, I need everybody to clap, scream, cheer, hoot, and holler for these young future racers. Green flag is in the air. So the yellow flag coming out for the 66 of Max Dublin. Oh, look at we got them stacked up back here. The 18 of Treston Higgins kind of come to a stop. The 23 of Preston Higgins went right underneath the back bumper, and then Connor Reed was there as well. So we got an incident back there over there going into turn 3 involving Preston Higgins, Treston Higgins, and Connor Reed. All right, so we're just going to, I think the 23 might be done. As they ripped the bumper off and then just stuck it in the back window. So the 23 of Preston Higgins is going to get hooked up to the toe. As his night is done, he will be going pit side. I believe Carter Parrish went to the pits. So it looks like the 18K of Connor Reed is going to be able to continue. It is a 25 of Rhett Edgar out front, Colton Brown second, Treston Higgins third, Max Dublin fourth, and now Connor Reed will round out your field in fifth. All right, we're going to do a single file restart, ladies and gentlemen. We started with 7, now we got 5. It's an elimination race. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Although that would be cool to do an elimination race. Out of turn 4, green flag's going to be in the air. Rhett Edgar jumps right up to the outside, going to bottom it off down to the bottom side, chop the nose off of Colton Brown, the 18. Treston Higgins going to be sitting there in third. Here comes the 18K of Connor Reed as your race leader, going to cross the stripe, followed in by Colton Brown. Higgins better look out because he's got company. That's 18K of Connor Reed coming up into the number 3 spot. Uh-oh, 18's got problems. And he goes to the bottom of the speedway. We're clean and green. Rhett Edgar leads them out of 4 and across the stripe, followed in by Colton Brown. Connor Reed sits in 3rd, and Max Dublin sits in 4th. Right now, Connor Reed trying everything he can to get around the 10 of Colton Brown, as Brown's playing some good defense. As the 25 of Rhett Edgar trying to get the biggest lead as possible. Connor Reed trying to go to the outside, not able to get it to stick as Brown chops the nose off. Now Reed goes down to the bottom side. Woo, look at the battle here for second. Brown holds on. Reed going to try to power it down the back stretch and into 3. They're going to make a little bit of contact. Okay, a lot of bit of contact, but we're going to stay clean and green as it looks like Reed might have overtaken and got second. Oh, Brown drives right into him. Oh, a lot of contact going on here. These boys are not backing down. They ain't scared of nothing. Connor Reed holds on to second, Brown third. Rhett Edgar out front all by his lonesome, all by himself like the chess club president on prom night. As he's going to try to hold on to that race lead. Now Connor Reed's got some pretty good distance between him and the 10 of Colton Brown. Down the back street. Uh-oh, looks like Connor Reed might have some issues on that car. As your race leader is going to cross the stripe with 2 to go. Can the 18K run him down, or does he not have enough laps left? Coming out of turn 4, white flag. Oh, Max Dublin up on top. He's back down. We're good. White flag coming out for the 25 of Rhett Edgar. All he's got to do is make it through 3 and 4. Out of turn 4 to the checkered flag, the 25 of Rhett Edgar. Connor Reed second, and Colton Brown third. Race fans, again, you're going to need to make some noise. These drivers are the future of this sport. So when this young man climbs out of the car, I see safety equipment coming off. You're going to have to make a lot of noise. Helmet is off. Ladies and gentlemen, your Young Gun Hornet feature winner. Give it up. As he gets out of the car. I thought he was coming out, but now he's not. He got scared. Give it up for the 25 of Rhett Edgar. So we let a little bit of moisture down on the Speedway. For your POWRi B mods on the pole is going to be the 65 of Chris Jackson into his outside, the 55 of Colson Kirk. Row number 2 going to be the 14C of Cody Crabtree into his outside, the 5 of Robert White. Row 3 you got the 16M of the Batman Brian Myers into his outside, the 11 of Waylon Dimmitt. Row number 4 going to be the 77 of Jeremy Hazel and the 20D of Dawson David. Row 5 going to be the 68 of Donnie Betts and the 49 of Mason Rodden. Row 6, you got the 2 of Eric Graves and the 5C of Brian Cook. Row 7, the 42J of Donnie Jackson and the 29 of Bronson Wicker And in row number 8, all by his lonesome, the 55G of Luke Gideon. Here we go, race fans. Lights are down. We will be green flag when they come out of turn number 4. Out of turn number 4, green flag is in the air. They're going to motor off down into 1 and 2. Chris Jackson, Colson Kirk going to be door to door. Then they're going to be 3 wide back there for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. As Colson Kirk going to lead lap 1 up on the top side of the Speedway. Waylon Dimmitt was trying to follow. Oh, Chris Jackson hard into the wall. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Something broke on the 65 of Chris Jackson as he just went hard to the right and into the wall. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. So something on the front end of that car broke, causing him to yeet himself right. So the Midway Speedway safety crew and tow truck down there to help give the 65 of Chris Jackson a hand after he broke something on that right front and just went hard into the wall. Driver is okay, ladies and gentlemen. Driver is okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to try this again after Chris Jackson went hard into the wall. Lights are down. Will you be blah, 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 blah. Can't talk. We will be green flag when they come out of turn 4. Down the backstretch and into 3. Colson Kirk's going to lead them as they come out of turn number 4. Green flag is back in the air. Down on the 1 and 2, they go. Colson Kirk goes right to the top shelf, but here comes Robert White down on the bottom side of the Speedway. Colson Kirk going to drop it down to the bottom side as well, play a little bit of defense as he's going to hold on. Waylon Dimmick comes up. He's going to go top shelf through 1 and 2. Here comes Dawson David. 4 car, 3 wide for second. As you got 4 cars battling it out for that number 1 spot here at the mighty Midway. It's still Colson Kirk right now. Waylon Dimmitt, Robert White, and Dawson David all trying to find a way to get around that 55 machine. As Colson Kirk doing a good job right now, playing defense and running fast all at the same time. As your top 4 starting to pull away from the rest of the field, number 5 spot going to go to that 14, Sia Cody Crabtree. Mason Roden going to be sitting there in the number 6 spot. Eric Graves, 7th, as it is all Colson Kirk out front, followed in by Waylon Dimmitt, Robert White, Dawson David in that 20D. That's your top 4. As there is a lot of separation, almost a full straightaway between 4th and 5th. But it is all the Colson Kirk show right now. as Dimmitt, White, and David just have nothing for that 55 machine. So the 29 of Bronson Wicker going pit side. Colson Kirk still holding on to that number 1 spot. Waylon Dimmitt sits in second. Robert White third, and Dawson Davis still in fourth, as Cody Crabtree still holds on to that number 5 spot. Your top 4 are just bumper to bumper all the way around the Speedway. The 77 of Jeremy Hazel going pit side now as he's going to exit stage right. Top 4, huge amount of distance between them and Cody Crabtree, who sits in 5th, who's pretty much in no man's land right now, all by his lonesome. Eric Graves gets into the back of Donnie Betts. There's Brian Cook goes around right here on the front stretch. Keeps it rolling. There we go. It is still Colson. And Brian looped it around in 1 and 2. Yellow is out. Yellow is out. So Brian Cook had some great driving skills right here on the front stretch out of turn 4. Looped it around, kept her rolling, and then through 1 and 2 just could not save it. Delaware double file restart. Colson Kirk going to be out front by his lonesome. Waylon Dimmitt going to go down to the bottom side. Robert White got to go top. Dawson David down. Cody Crabtree to the outside. Out of turn number 4, green flag is in the air. Colson Kirk going to have to be on the hustle as everybody going to be right there to his back bumper. He's going to stomp on the loud pedal down the back stretch. Waylon Dimmitt, Robert White going to be right there behind him. Here comes Dawson David in 4th. Donnie Betts right there in 6th, trying to get around Crabtree for the number 5 spot. As they are going to go through 3 and 4, it is white flag for the 55 of Colson Kirk. One more trip around. Can he hold on? Down the back stretch, he's going to go for the final time. Into 3, he's got one more turn to go. Out of turn 4, checkered flag for the 55 of Colson Kirk. Waylon Dimmitt 2nd and Robert White 3rd. So down there in victory lane, gonna have to make some noise, get loud and proud for your POWRi B-Mod feature winner. I see safety equipment coming off down there. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the 55 of Colson Kirk. Here we go, race fans. Time for a little POWRi Pure Stock Pandemonium. On the pole, going to be the 21 of Peyton McDowell, and to his outside, the 14 of Derek Davis. Row 2 going to be the 32 of Richard Adams and the 5 of Justin McDowell. Row 3 going to be the 17 of Andrew Rourke and that 0 of James Reedus. Row 4 is going to be the N42 of Chad Nivens and the 68 of Rhonda Lamkey. Row 5, you got the 23 of Mark Big Daddy Simon, and to his outside, the 19 of Trenton Houston. Row number 6 going to be the 42 of Trevor Ellingson and the 13 of Greg Dykstra. And row number 7, all by his lonesome, going to be the 26 of Preston McDowell. Gentlemen, we're going to go 2 by 2, bumper to bumper, door to door, here for your POWRi Pure Stocks. Lights are going to go down as they cross the flag stand. 1 to go from the flagman. Not sure what Mark Simon was doing right there. Down the back stretch we're going to go. We're going to fill the work on into turn number 3. McDowell Davis on the front row as they come out of turn number 4. Green flag is in the air. Down to 1 and 2. We hustle. 3 wide out of turn 2. Down the back stretch they're going to go. Peyton McDowell down on the bottom side of the speedway as he's going to try to hold on to that race lead. He's going to cross the stripe. Lap 1 goes to McDowell, Davis, Adams. That's your top 3. But here comes James Reedus, and that's 0. Justin McDowell in the 5. Trenton Houston coming to call as well. He got a little too high, kind of bounce off the cushion. Trenton Houston up on the top side. He's slicing and dicing his way through traffic. James Reed is now up in front of Justin McDowell into the number 4 spot. But out front, it is all the 21 of Peyton McDowell, who is your race leader. Derek Davis right there to the back bumper. As Derek Davis is going to do everything he can to get up and around the 21, the wagon there of McDowell. Richard Adams sits in 3rd. James Reed is in no man's land all by himself in 4th. And the battle for 5th is underway between McDowell and Houston. Mark Simon going to be right on the back bumper of Houston, trying to push him forward. Andrew Ruark going to be right there in the mix as well for that battle for 5th, along with Justin McDowell. Peyton McDowell, still your race leader, as he's starting to get a little bit of separation between him and Derek Davis, who sits in 2nd. Richard Adams starting to close the gap there on Davis, as Reedus is back there right behind Adams on his back bumper. Mark Simon, Trenton Houston now duking it out for that number 5 spot, as Simon's going to have the 5th position as they go down the back stretch and into turn 3. And coming out of turn 4, it is McDowell, Davis, Adams, Reedus, and Simon. Yellow is out, yellow is out. Yellow out of the top of turn 1 for the 17 of Andrew Ruark. All right, so we got laps completed. We are going to try and run down the rest of these laps. It is Peyton McDowell out front. As we get them stacked back up in the Delaware double file restart. Seven laps down, 13 to go. Green flag out of turn number 4. Peyton McDowell out front. Mark Simon going to go right to the top shelf, trying to get around him. Not able to get to the stick as he's going to be door to door. Oh, no! Richard Adams slammed on the brakes. Mark Simon gave him one heck of a shot to the shorts. And then Richard Adams got right back on the throttle. Peyton McDowell still your race leader. Derek Davis going to follow on him down the bottom. Oh, now Davis going to go to the top shelf around 3 and 4. Out of turn 4 it is McDowell, Davis, Simon to third. Simon's got something working on the top side, but does he have enough real estate to run down the leaders? They're going to come out of turn number 4. You still got Peyton McDowell out front. Derek Davis in second. Davis starting to catch Peyton McDowell on the top shelf. Mark Simon is just pushing Derek Davis around the speedway. As the battle for second is underway, about a 3-car battle for second, about to be a 4-car battle for the lead, as it is getting dicey up front. Peyton McDowell catfishing it down on the bottom side of the speedway. Derek Davis kind of, Simon got into McDowell. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Yellow is out, yellow is out. Mark Simon drove it down into 1 and 2 hard and just right into the 21 of Peyton McDowell. Here we go out of turn number 4. Green flag going to be in the air. 12 laps down, 8 to go. Heat race distance remaining. Or 3 to go, I'm sorry. I thought we was running 20, not 15. As we're going to go down to the 3 and 4. Derek Davis down on the bottom side. Here comes James Reedus on the top shelf. Look at that, the 26. The 26 of Preston McDowell now battling up front in the top 3. Down into 3 they're going to go. Coming out of turn number 4, you're going to see the white flag for the 0 of James Reedus. Final time around as they're going to go down the back stretch. Derek Davis going to have to checkers or wreckers this as they go down into turn number 3. Coming out of turn number 4 to the checkered flag, the 0 of James Reedus. Derek Davis, Preston McDowell, your top 3. All right, race fans, as our POWRi Pure Stock feature winner parks it down there in victory lane, steering wheel's off, window net's down, you're going to have to make some noise when he climbs out of that machine. Helmet is off. Give it up for the 0 of James Reedus. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our next feature getting ready to pull out onto the track, going to be your POWRi Hornets. On the pole is going to be the 2 of Justin Day. And to his outside, the 18K of Connor Reed. Row 2 is going to be the 3M of Bobby Mooney. And to his outside, his son, the 2M of Corbin Mooney. Row number 3 is going to be the 93 of Down and Dirty Daniel Barton. And to his outside, the 25 of Rhett Edgar. Row 4, you got the 18 of Max Dunn and the 11 of Martin Jennings. All right, race fans. POWRi Hornet feature is about to get underway as they're going to go down the back stretch. Justin Day, Connor Reed on that front row. And then you got the Mooney boys, row number 2. Into 3 out of turn 4. Green flag is in the air. Corbin Mooney's pushing Connor Reed down the front stretch. That's Bobby Mooney going to be down to the inside of Connor Reed as they're going to go into 3. Justin Day going to be your race leader. A little bit of contact between Mooney and Reed. It is Justin Day out front. Connor Reed second. Bobby Mooney now trying to move up into that number 2 spot. Corbin Mooney's pushing Connor Reed all the way around the track. Oh, down into Bobby Mooney goes. Oh, no! Look out. We got trouble on the front stretch. Yellow, 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 yellow. So it looked like Bobby Mooney and Connor Reed kind of got together. Connor Reed moved to the right. Corbin Mooney was there. And then around went Connor. Driver is okay. Driver is okay. So our safety crew down here, driver says he's all right. We're just waiting on the tow truck to give the 18K of Connor Reed a helping hand back to his pits. So the Midway wrecker down there getting Connor Reed's car hooked up. Give Connor Reed a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. So I've just been told there is a blue helmet bag at the top or in the middle of turn 2 that belongs to the 11 of Martin Jennings. Oh, and he's stopping. He's stopping to get his helmet bag. All right, here we go. Delaware double file restart. Justin Day out front in the 2. Then you got the Mooney boys, the 3M of Corbin Mooney down on the bottom side, and second the 2M of Corbin Mooney on the top side. Daniel Barton in the 93 going to go down to the bottom side, and Rhett Edgar going to be your top 5. Into 3, coming out of turn number 4. Green flag is going to be in the air. Oh, looky here. Oh, man, that was getting dicey. Justin Day going to power out down the back stretch, but Corbin Mooney coming in hard on the top side of the Speedway, trying to run down that hatchback. As Daniel Barton going to follow Corbin Mooney around the track. Now Rhett Edgar down to the bottom side of Daniel Barton. As Justin Day leads him out of turn 4 and across the stripe. The Moonies battling it out for second and third, and it's funny because their cars are 2 and 3. And they're sitting in 2 and 3. Justin Day, your race leader. Bobby Mooney, Corbin Mooney, Rhett Edgar, Daniel Barton, Max Dunn, Martin Jennings. That's how your field is lined out right now. It is the Justin Day show as he is out front. Large and in charge. Bobby Mooney holds on to that number 2 spot. Corbin Mooney not backing down, though. That's Corbin Mooney going to try to hold on and battle back and battle it with his dad. But it seems like Bobby Mooney has found his line, found his marks, and he is rolling. Out of turn 4 comes your race leader, the 2 of Justin Day. Halfway home, Bobby Mooney, Corbin Mooney, 1, 2, and 3. Rhett Edgar sits in 4th, Daniel Barton 5th. But now Daniel Barton going to go down to the bottom side and move back up into that number 4 spot. Single file all the way around the Speedway right now, ladies and gentlemen. As it appears that the Moonies are starting to catch the 2 of Justin Day. But the question is, do they have enough real estate to run him down? Do they have enough laps left to get up and around him? Bobby Mooney coming almost to the back bumper there of Justin Day. As your top 3 are now bumper to bumper. Daniel Barton starting to pull away from Rhett Edgar. Rhett Edgar went way up the hill, but he's going to keep her rolling. We're clean and green. Bobby Mooney holds on to second behind Justin Day, who sits in first as we got 2 more trips around. Who is going to park it in victory lane? Will it be the 2 of Justin Day? Will it be Corbin Mooney, Bobby Mooney? Who's it going to be? Coming out of turn number 4, you're going to see the white flag. 1 more trip around for the 2 of Justin Day. Final time down into turn 3 and 4. Coming to the checkered flag, the 2 of Justin Day. Bobby Mooney second and Corbin Mooney your top 3. All right, down there in victory lane, I already hear people cheering, but you got to wait till he gets out of the car. He can't hear you. So we're going to try this one more again. I see safety equipment coming off. Window net is already down. He needs to get like a white helmet or something because I can't see any movement now. Oh, now the window net's down, or helmet. Yeah, there's the window net. He had the window net still up, but the helmet is off. Hat's on. So we're going to have to make some noise for your POWRi Hornet feature winner, the 2 of Justin Day. Race fans, it is time for the final feature of the night, and I'm going to go ahead and read the starting lineup before they come out and roll the moisture. On the pole, going to be the 17R Logan Ruark into his outside, the 83 of Ben Newell. Row number 2 is going to be the 23 of Mark Big Daddy Simon into his outside, the 27 of Terry Williams. Row 3 going to be the 8K of Tyler Cadunston into his outside, the 15R of Oakley Ragland. Row number 4 going to be the 7 of William Garner and the 16A of Shannon Geller. Row 5 going to be the 0 of Dakota Gerard and the 7C of Derek Cook. Row 6 the 51 of Sean Henson and the 28D of Dylan Dampier. Row 7 going to be the 17 of Garrett Parker and the 65 junior of Carter Jackson. Row 8 going to be the 75 of Colby Lathrop into his outside, the 34C of the wheelman Jake Carter and riding shotgun. And row number 9 all by his lonesome, the 44R of Randall Cushing. by 2. Y'all know what that means, don't you? Final feature of the night. And when they come out of turn number 4, we're going to turn them loose. Ruark, Newell on the front row. Simon, Williams, row number 2. 𝐋𝐞𝐚𝐧𝐨𝐬𝐿 and Ragland going to be that third and final top 5 row. Or should I say top 6? Lights are down. They're going to be green flag next time by. 15 laps the distance. 15 laps remaining on tonight's festivities. And then we're going to close the book on this chapter. Down the back stretch, we're going to go for the final feature of the night. Fill the work on into turn number 3. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to drop the hammer. All right, so we're going to double the cars back up. Delaware double file restart. Ben Newell, your race leader. Mark Simon, Logan Ruark going to be row number 2. Terry Williams and Oakley Ragland going to be your top 5. Dakota Gerard, Shannon Geller, the row right behind that. Here comes Tyler 𝐋𝐞𝐚𝐧𝐿 back out onto the track. After his right rear or right front flat. So Tyler 𝐋𝐞𝐚𝐧𝐿 able to make it back out onto the speedway after a right front flat that I've seen with my own eyes. Into 3 coming out of turn number 4. Green flag is in the air. They'll hustle on down to 1 and 2. Ben Newell going to be that race leader. Here comes Mark Simon right there to the back bumper. Logan Ruark's 3rd. Now Shannon Geller, Terry Williams going to battle out for 4th and 5th. Oakley Ragland's there. Dakota Gerard, William Garner, Cook. And it looks like the wheelman Jake Carter's up there. Sean Henson going to be there as well. Throw a blanket on the top 10, 11, 12. As it's anybody's race right now to see who can get out front. Ben Newell trying to get away as quick as possible because he knows he's got heavy hitters behind him. They're still 3 deep here in the mid-pack. William Garner, Dakota Gerard, Oakley Ragland all 3 wide. as it is Ben Newell, Mark Simon, Logan Ruark, your top 3. Shannon Geller, Terry Williams, your top 5. Mark Simon on the top shelf, going to take over the lead down the back stretch and into 3 and 4. Ben Newell still down on the bottom side, coming out of turn 4. You got a new race leader, Mark Big Daddy Simon. As he's going to be on the top shelf now, Ben Newell's going to switch it up. Ben Newell going to go to the top side, going to try to run down your race leader. As Mark Simon just going to make that lead bigger and bigger with every lap. Logan Ruark sits in 3rd. Shannon Geller 4th. And William Garner rounds out your top 5. Terry Williams and Dakota Gerard kind of duking it out for 6th and 7th. But it is all Mark Simon right now on the top shelf of the Speedway. Uh-oh, Colby Lathrop's about to have company. As they come through 3 and 4. Good battles back here in the mid-pack of the field. Uh-oh, somebody's now, oh, that's Shannon Geller down into the infield. Thought the four-wheeler was going to get taken out, but it didn't. Whew. Melanie's brand new four-wheeler about got drilled. Mark Simon out front. Ben Newell sits in 2nd. Logan Ruark 3rd. Now William Garner sits in 5th or 4th. And Dakota Gerard sits in 5th. Shannon Geller going to try to jump back out on the track and keep rolling. It is all Mark Simon right now on the top side of the Speedway, just cruising and bruising. As Ben Newell sits in 2nd, Logan Ruark 3rd. Mark Simon coming out of turn number 4. Going to see the white flag, 1 to go. Down the back stretch, they're going to go for the final time here tonight for the final feature of the night. Out of turn number 4, checkered flag for the 23 of Mark Simon. Ben Newell 2nd and Logan Ruark 3rd. All right, as our feature winner does some donuts down there in the infield. So you're going to have to make some noise down there in victory lane for the 23 of Mark Big Daddy Simon. Ladies and gentlemen, as you exit the facility, I ask that you please pick up all your trash, throw it in the proper trash receptacles on your way out. Don't forget, next weekend, we're going to be here Friday night for the Les Hayes Memorial. That's going to be an awesome race. The weekend after that, July 4th, we will be here with a fireworks show. Holy cow, you made that. You just threw it from the flag stand to the trash can and made it. I would have missed by a mile because I suck at basketball. But back to what I was saying before I was rudely interrupted by an awesome shot. Please be safe going home. Be safe in your travels this weekend. Have a safe and a happy weekend, and we will be back right here at the mighty Midway in Lebanon, Missouri next Friday night for the Les Hayes Memorial.